This video will demonstrate the proper installation of multi-panel drywall murals. The tools needed for this installation include 70% isopropyl alcohol and towels to thoroughly clean the surface, a rip tool and hand level to properly position the graphic, a knife and squeegee for installation, a heat gun to heat treat the graphic and ensure a proper seal. Use dry towels to wipe down the walls, removing any dust and dirt. For very dirty walls, use 70% isopropyl alcohol. The rip tool allows you to slice through the backing without slicing through the graphic. Roll your graphic from the bottom up and peel away a corner of the backer. Use the rip tool to slice along the backing, creating a strip across the top of the graphic. Do your best to keep it straight and even. It will make your installation easier. Place your graphic flush to the top of the ceiling, making sure it completes to the edge of the wall. With a firm arm on the graphic, remove the top strip of the backer and gently apply the top of the graphic to the wall. Find a point on the graphic, usually text, to line up with your hand level. Adjust if necessary until the graphic is level. Once in position, use a squeegee to lock the top of the graphic into place. Roll the graphic up from the bottom and begin removing the backer from the top of the graphic about 12 inches at a time. Keeping tension from the center down, begin applying the graphic by squeegeeing from the center out. Keep your squeegee at a roughly 45-degree angle facing downwards to prevent any wrinkles from forming in the graphic. Continue working your way down, applying the graphic with the squeegee, removing about 12 inches of the backer at a time. Squeegee around any outlets, as these will be trimmed out later. When you get to the bottom, change your squeegee strokes from left to right to top to bottom, holding slight tension at the bottom corners to prevent locking any air bubbles. Repeat this process with the next panel, lining it up to overlap slightly with the first panel. Bannerville murals will always have exactly 1 inch of overlap. Partially remove the top strip of the backer and tack the corner of the graphic into place, leaving your hands free to rotate the graphic into place. Once all of your points of registration are aligned, remove the rest of the top strip of the backer and begin applying with the squeegee from the center out, making sure all of your points are still aligned. It can be helpful to hand place points of registration before you begin. Continue applying the graphic and repeat the process for the rest of the panels. As you go, if you find that you are having trouble getting your panels to properly align all the way down, you can adjust by hand and return later with the heat gun to help manipulate the graphic into place. Once all panels have been applied, it's time to trim the edges. Use forceful presses with the squeegee to ensure the graphic is completely finished to the edge you are about to trim. Using a fresh blade on the knife, use defined edges to guide your knife as you trim along the edges. Use the same process to trim along the wall outlets, using a squeegee to lock the graphic into place after trimming. To ensure permanent adhesion, apply heat to shrink the graphic and conform it to the texture of the wall. Turn your heat gun up to at least 800 degrees and, keeping it about 3 to 4 inches from the wall, slowly run the heat over the graphic, followed by a light swipe of the squeegee. Make sure never to point the heat directly at the squeegee. Rather, use the heat to create a path for the squeegee to follow. Pay extra attention to the edges and seams between the panels to ensure the graphic is sealed.